has looked on the cards for a long time in his career. Scott Harrison, and it looks like he's finally going to do it.
Well, if the judges are in agreement with us, put this down as one of the great nights in Scottish boxing history. There's the final bell. It goes to the judges. They both throw final bell. It goes to the judges. They both throw their arms aloft. But Glenn and I have made Harrison a clear winner of that fight. And I think if there's any justice, he will be the new WBO featherweight champion of the world.
Well, he did that in such good fashion right from the start. He went out there and acted like a champion, fought like a champion.
Whose scorecards are currently being collated. Manuel Oliveira of Spain, Dave Paris of England, familiar figure, Axel Zielke of Germany. Well, he's grim and he's dour, but he's also a very proud father of his little 7-month-old son. 7 months today, in fact, Scott, and I know his partner Jackie will be proud of what he did in there.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 12 outstanding boxing rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards. They are as follows. Judge Manuel, 117 to 111. Judge Dave Paris scores the contest 117 to 112. And Judge Axel Zielke scores the contest 117 to 111 for the winner by unanimous decision.
Judges got it right, Glenn.
They got it perfectly, and he hears the words that every fighter dreams of all their careers. The new.
Amazing stuff. Incredible night here. And
I feel unbelievable. For the crowd, 5,000 people who turned out tonight, it's unbelievable to put on a good performance and bring back the world title back to Scotland, where it belongs.
It was a steady, sure performance from you behind your jab. You broke him up at times, but you had to go through tough bits. It was a steady, sure performance from you behind your jab. You broke him up at times, but you had to go through tough bits as well, Scott, and showed your heart too.
He's very tough, very strong. He's a counter puncher. So we're working on the jab and fast combinations, back on the jab, working to the body, and just bringing him down bit by bit. But he's very tough. He's a good champion.
You've got Ken Buchanan, Jim Watt, Paul Weir, Gary Jacobs.
Cold and Flu has day capsules to help you through your day and night capsules to help you enjoy a restful sleep.
Right now, great time to join BT Mobile. It starts from just £5 a month if you've got BT broadband at home, and you can get online with fast 4G and Wi-Fi hotspots in more places than any other mobile provider. If you've got BT broadband at home, and you can get online with fast 4G and Wi-Fi hotspots in more places than any other mobile provider. You can get 500 megabytes of data with our great value starter plan for just £5 a month. If you need more, our perfect all-rounder SIM has 2 gigabytes of data for £10 a month. Or get our ultimate SIM with a huge 15 gigabytes of data for just £20 a month. Anyone can get a great deal with BT Mobile. With 3 SIM-only plans to choose from, you're bound to find the right one for you.
Festive wise men. Yes, I'm joined by Colin Hart, Alan Hubbard and Gareth A. Davis as well. More than 200 years of experience on that sofa. Would you believe this week? Colin,
it's not just me, you know.
You garner a good slice of that. You've seen them all, so you're well positioned to judge the current crop out there.
Well, I hope so, yeah. They should be in, but as you know, you can juggle these boys around. So somebody might think I've given number 6, you should be number 4
Sure.
or number 3. So this is how you go on forever.
And Alan, would you say that the health of boxing, particularly domestically, but internationally?
Recent fight, and also Sergei Kovalev and Andre Ward, and you know, probably you could say 4 of those are arguably in the top, or 3 of them in the top 5. And Pacquiao, he's not on my list, but 5. And Pacquiao, he's not on my list, but at the moment, but you could put him in there. I mean, it's been an extraordinary month travelling in America, seeing those guys. It's been a very interesting year as America searches for a boxing star, because there aren't many Americans there who are big names in that top 10. And it's a very interesting year as America searches for a boxing star, because there aren't many Americans there who are big names in that top 10.
And
such a show-off, isn't he?
Yeah, I'd be far happier if we had one world heavyweight champion. I mean, it's disintegrated now because of Tyson Fury's sickness. It's split up again, and that drives me crazy, because we're going to end up at the beginning of the year with 4 world heavyweight champions again.
Right. It's pound for pound fighters of the year: Alan Hubbard, Colin Hart, and Gareth A. Davies. Now, there's 7 names that are featuring on all 3 of those lists, and they are Golovkin, Gonzalez, Lomachenko, Ward, Canelo, Crawford, and Carl Frampton, our very own Carl Frampton, sneaking in to the top 10 as well. There are 5 other names, and I think that's an interesting introduction to the discussion. GGG, top man for both Alan Hubbard and Colin Hart. Why not for you, Gareth?
I feel there's a couple of really defining legacy fights missing in his career.
Not for you, Gareth.
I feel there's a couple of really defining legacy fights missing in his career. I want to see him fight Canelo Alvarez. Yeah. And I wouldn't even mind seeing him fight someone like Andre Ward. I mean, Carl Froch was mentioned as an opponent for him even recently, but I think Carl told us recently that he's had his nose straightened, he's got loads of money in the bank, and he doesn't want it getting the nose broken again. And if they can get the man from Managua to get a following, then maybe he will make some money and become more of a...
Well, and interestingly, boys, I mean, I've seen Gonzalez in the flesh, as I have Golovkin when I went to New York, and I have to say, what a night that was to see Golovkin beat Lemieux and the Nicaraguan with all that support. So he's kind of been on the big HBO shows alongside Golovkin, so he's getting that exposure.
Although I think Golovkin is, you know, when you watch him, he is...
kind of been on the big HBO shows alongside Golovkin, so he's getting that exposure.
Although I think Golovkin is, you know, when you watch him, he is special. But I have to agree, he only had 2 fights this year, and one of them was against a welterweight, Kell Brook. But nevertheless, when you see him in action, you think there's not too many better than him. You wonder how he's going to be broken down, don't you? That's what you look at him, you just wonder how that's why we want to see him fight Alvarez, to see how he copes with a world-class opponent.
Well, when I compiled my list, I thought about who I was putting in it, and I said to myself, if I was a fighter, who would I least like to fight most?
Class opponent.
Well, when I compiled my list, I thought about who I was putting in it, and I said to myself, if I was a fighter, who would I least like to fight most? And unquestionably, it's Triple G.
Do you think that, because people talk about legacies and people talk about long reigns as champion and defending of titles, do you think there's still time, Gareth, for him maybe to challenge, say, a name like defending of titles? Do you think there's still time, Gareth, for him maybe to challenge, say, a name like Hagler, like Hopkins? Because he's, 35 next year?
These gentlemen will always say to me, and it's something that you experience as you get older covering boxing, some boxers age overnight in a difficult fight when they get into their 30s, but he hasn't really got a lot of mileage on the clock. He can probably go on for 3 or 4 or 5 more years. But to go back to what in a difficult fight when they get into their 30s, but he hasn't really got a lot of mileage on the clock. He can probably go on for 3 or 4 or 5 more years. But to go back to what Alan was just saying, I think there's a name there who I would put above Golovkin is Lomachenko, who they wouldn't want to fight on that list.
In the space of a few months in 2016, moving up weight to do it as well, in terms of natural talent, pure natural talent.
8 pro fights, by the way.
But so if we were talking this time next year, I think unquestionably he would be our number 1.
But this time when you think he didn't have a bad amateur record, did he? 300 odd fights and 1 defeat.
375 wins, 1.
lightweight?
Absolutely no question at all. I think light welterweight's too much, because Bob Arum's even talking about him not just fighting Flanagan. I think Frank Warren and Bob Arum have talked about that matchup, and they've talked about Lomachenko potentially doing a fight over here on a Flanagan undercard. But Lomachenko in Vegas, after destroying Walters, said, you know what, I'm in the Mecca over here. Get everyone to come over here and fight me. I think 140's a bit far, but they talked about Pacquiao with him at 138.
Excuse me, just interrupting about Mr. Lomachenko, who is a remarkable talent. Where did he fight last week in Vegas? In a 3,000-seater arena. He cannot fill the MGM Grand in America.
No, he's not there yet. I agree with you.
That's why I can't put him at #1. He's got a long way to go before he becomes the #1. He is a small hall fighter in America. Let's face it.
Interesting.
Lomachenko, you want to see him. I mean, it's all right if you're an absolute 100% purist, but professional boxing is about entertainment, not purism.
It's about both, actually, Colin. It's about both.
Well,
entertainment and technical excellence.
Well, I tell you what, you've got a fighter who's not entertaining and is technically brilliant. You've got Vijender who can't get a fight in America.
Is that why he just got X'd from your list completely? And yet you've got Pacquiao on there. Does he deserve to be there?
Not entertaining and is technically brilliant. You've got Vijender who can't get a fight in America.
Is that why he just got X'd from your list completely? And yet you've got Pacquiao on there. Does he deserve to be there on 2016
I mean, he's still
form?
a world-class fighter, but I've got him way down the list, having lost several times. But nevertheless, he's still exciting to watch.
But on 2016
and he's still a good fighter.
Beating Bradley...
Oh, Bradley's not bad
for their safety, of course.
And that wouldn't suit their promotional purpose.
I don't want to see Mayweather. I don't want to see Mayweather fight again. He's got his legacy for all time. He's 49-0. He'll be 40 if he fights again. And he's not going to get better at 40.
Well, he brandished a cheque for $100 million the other day, saying, "All you suckers, I'm fine. Look." And why does he need to come back? You know, and his father's the one that's saying. When Mayweather turned up at Pacquiao's fight the other night and sat ringside, and they were nodding and winking. I don't know, there's something in it. You know, there's an interest there, there's an interest.
Now Gareth's talking...
Bob certainly thinks so, doesn't
I'm talking...
Now you're talking my language. Yes, I understand that analogy entirely. Now let me move on to Kovalev and Ward. Kovalev is on Colin's and Gareth's list.
115, 112 to Ward.
Right.
I had it to Ward by 1 round.
And I had it to Kovalev. I was there, obviously, and I was writing live, and you don't see the same thing when you're writing live. I had 115, 112. I had 115, 112 to Kovalev, because I get Kovalev, I was there, obviously, and I was writing live, and you don't see the same thing when you're writing live. I had 115, 112. I had 115, 112 to Kovalev, because I get Kovalev that first 5 with the extra round, a point for the knockdown, but also I gave him... I don't see how people...
15 minutes in, we're going to come back for some more after this.
Feet from the foot. Get beautiful feet. From the foot experts at Scholl, the Velvet Smooth Express Pedi with diamond crystals removes tough, hard skin effortlessly for soft, beautiful feet in an instant. New Scholl Express Pedi gift packs, the perfect collection for a beautiful festive look. Now half price at Boots.
This Christmas at Tesco Sids. So Tim and Tom can get relief, but not always from each other. Gaviscon Double Action.
Sore throat keeping you awake?
Yes, and I need a good night's sleep.
Take Strepsils. It relieves pain, fights the infection and soothes your throat. Ooh. It helps put your sore throat pain to sleep.
Lemsip Max Day and Night.
It relieves pain, fights the infection and soothes your throat. Ooh. It helps put your sore throat pain to sleep.
Lemsip Max Day and Night Cold and Flu has day capsules to help you through your day and night capsules to help you enjoy a restful sleep.
Welcome back to this Boxing Matters special. It's our pound-for-pound list of the best fighters of 2016. And no surprise about quite a few of those fighters on them.
And Thurman, I think, is a great talent. He's the WBA champion, is he? Unbeaten. And I think he's an excellent fighter. That's why I put him in. But I put him in right at the bottom because he's yet to really prove himself.
Yes, and this whole PBC, see him more. Can he really star in 2017?
Definitely. What I really like about him, in America, the public seemed to warm to a guy that can play the heel properly. They loved Mike Tyson in the end. They loved Floyd Mayweather. They loved following their careers. Andre Ward's a good guy. Terence Crawford's a good guy. This guy, Thurman, says things. He's got...
Well, if Brooke doesn't face Khan, and it sounds like they want to make it happen, but Brooke wants to say it 147, Alan. And Terence Crawford mentioned in dispatches there as well. Is he exciting enough for you? Because I think he wants to be. Is he just a little too good?
He's a smooth operator with a terrific record, isn't he? I mean, I know that a lot of people, including Frank Warren and other promoters, really think he's the bee's knees.
Problem is, at 140, there's just no names, really, are there?
It's Garcia.
Thurman Garcia.
Thurman Garcia.
It's Thurman Garcia,
it's, his fighter. Is it John Molina?
Yes, I think
it's John Molina.
In fact, it's this month, isn't it?
Good for him.
This month, Molina.
So he could push to the next level, given the right dance partner. This is something we've...
this month, isn't it?
Good for him.
This month, Molina.
So he could push to the next level, given the right dance partner. This is something we've been saying all along, isn't it? We've been saying it for Golovkin, I think, for the last year and a half. Canelo, the man who's supposed to be fighting Golovkin, is, of course, on the list.
Well, he's my number 2.
And is that on talent?
Yeah, surely. Look, a bit like a sparring partner. Won every round, didn't he, against Alvarez?
Not in C.J. Ross's card.
No.
But, you know, he's improved immensely since that time. He was a young kid, and he's come on and on and on. But, I mean, the fight next year for me is Golovkin and...
You know, I really hope he gets it. I think Kovalev deserves a rematch.
Yeah, he deserves a rematch, but it's not something that I'm sitting on the edge of my seat waiting to happen.
Well, I'm going to go
listen, I think it was overrated. Our colleagues on, the editor of boxing thought it was a wonderful fight.
Away with the stuff that he normally gets away with, and it made quite an ugly fight. Not what Virgil Hunter says. He's apparently saying that Kovalev only wrestled to nullify Ward, and had he not done that, he would have got knocked out, which is perhaps the most absurd line of the whole year. But
the great thing that I...
And had he not done that, he would have got knocked out, which is perhaps the most absurd line of the whole year. But
the great thing that I thought, you know, pull back the T-Mobile Arena, round the edge of New York, staggered by a jab in that first round, being knocked down in the second, and being able to change the pattern of the fight by moving down and away.
Ex-boxers I've ever heard.
No, he's terrific.
He's a better analyst. He was a fighter.
Yeah, well, he had, you know, if he'd had he was a very brave man. I remember he had two faces one night against Miguel Cotto. He went all the way through the broken jaw. But I do think, in my heart, I think Kovalev deserves a second shot at Andre.
Let me ask about Frampton, because he's on the list. Good to see him on the top 10 list. Two-weight world champion, and might be getting better and better and better. I asked you for British Fighter of the Year and International. Unanimous, Carl Frampton as British Fighter of the Year for all three of you.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
well, he beat Quigg, and then he went to America and fought Quigg. And then he went to America and fought a three-time world champion and boxed absolutely brilliantly in New York to win that fight against Leo de la Cruz. Superb performance, Quigg. And then he went to America and fought a three-time world champion and boxed absolutely brilliantly in New York to win that fight against Leo de la Cruz. Superb performance. I mean, I've always said this. Winning world titles here is hard enough. Winning world titles abroad, particularly in America, is that much harder still. And to beat Virgil, all right, he's not the local man because it was in New York, but nevertheless, beating an American in America, a three-time world champion, to me was an outstanding performance.
And he's proved himself a good all-round boxer.
Unfortunately, because she did win the world title finally and won the... I know it's one foot in the grave here with Colin for a moment. She did win the world title and she defended her Olympic title. I know they don't have many fights to...
From us again. Smile. You're on Tesco Mobile. cold and flu virus can live on the surfaces in your home for up to 48 hours, and that's like having a sick family member. But Dettol kills 99.9% of germs, including cold and flu viruses. This cold and flu season, help protect your home and family from germs. And Dettol that.
For powerful and effective constipation relief, we've harnessed natural senna and put it into Senacot to help
you through your day, and night capsules to help you enjoy a restful sleep.
Here's confirmation of what we've got coming up for you inside the next 30 or so minutes. Vijender Singh defending his WBO Asia Pacific Super Middleweight title against Francis Cheka. He's been based in London. He's been based all around the world. He's originally from Tanzania. He's tough.
Hence his last two fights in India that have drawn big crowds and become back page news and on primetime TV on a big channel out there.
And it will get bigger. Now
hence his last two fights in India that have drawn big crowds and become back page news and on primetime TV on a big channel out there.
And it will get bigger. Now we sent Stevie along to have a chat with Vijender, because what he does a bit of training obviously in India, then he comes over and he just works with Lee Beard, because I think the sparring, you put on a pound, you can see it. You're not like me, you know, I can hide 20 or 30 pounds of gut underneath a good suit, but when you're an athlete there's nowhere to hide. And I think, I've got to tell you, I think he looks about as slim and trim and is in the right place. About the best I've ever seen him. Here's Stevie and Vijender.
You've been a professional now for just over 12 months. Can you assess your first year since you left the amateur code?
Yeah, it's been a year now, more than a year I can say that, and that's my 8th fight coming up now. And I'm all set to, like, you know, everything, because, you know, I'm adopting that pro boxing, so I'm used to this kind of thing.
How hard was it for you when you first come here?
That was very hard, because amateur is different and pro is different. So that was very hard, but you have to be, like, focus on your...
This time I think, you know, he's bang on.
And it looks like he's bang on. What can we expect from Cheka? Because he's quite interesting, Cheka. He's been all over the place, and he's fought all kinds of guys. I mean, he fought Matt Macklin and Paul Smith about 27 years ago.
2005, 2006. Now, I contacted Matt Macklin the other day about it to see what he remembered about 2005, 2006. Now, I contacted Matt Macklin the other day about it to see what he remembered about it, and he was saying he had no power, but he was ungainly and awkward, and I think he believed that Vijender is in for a long night tonight, that he'll get the W, but Cheka will certainly take him places.
Never a W. He won't get the L. He won't get the duh. He'll get the never a W. He won't get the L. He won't get the duh. He'll get the win.
I'll annoy you again when he gets the W, Steve. Right? If he gets the W. No, he said he didn't have a lot of power, but he was ungainly. But Cheka's, he's had some good wins in Tanzania, and we all
hard fights.
2013, he won the WBF title, Steve, which we all might, you know, have a jump over. He's had some good wins in Tanzania, and we all
hard fights.
2013, he won the WBF title, Steve, which we all might, you know, have a jump over the
Big Audley won that at Wembley.
And we'll have a sneaky snigger about it. But when he won it, he got a house off the Tanzania government for it. So
bingo. From Dar es Salaam with love, Mr. Wembley.
And we'll have a sneaky snigger about it. But when he won it, he got a house off the Tanzania government for it. So
bingo. From Dar es Salaam with love, Mr. Cheka gets a house winning a WBF title. That is not bad. When we come back, we're going to move ever closer to Vijender Singh defending his title in front of about 15,000 people in Delhi. And you have to understand the kind of pressure he's under and the kind of pressure that boxers have been put under. There's only been two big boxers in Indian history. One's called Mary Kom, who won about 6 world amateur titles. And then when the women's weights were introduced for the Olympics in 2012, the nearest to her was about 7 pounds above her weight. She's only a tiny little thing, and so she struggled. She lost on points to Nicola Adams.
£20 and an extra £3 saving off your monthly bill when you opt in with our smart new Extras app. With all this, no wonder 98% of our customers would buy from us again. Smile. You're on Tesco Mobile.
Bernard Hopkins has the faster hands. Who would have expected that? The 43-year-old's hand speed is embarrassing the 26-year-old fighter.
These are some real hard shots Hopkins is landing here.
Now Hopkins is doing push-ups in the ring to try to embarrass his younger opponent. Straight right hand, right on the chin for Hopkins. Right hand over the top by Hopkins. Crowd oohs and ahs. Now he embarrasses Cloud with another flush right hand shot in the center of the ring. It's a Bernard Hopkins knockout of Oscar De La Hoya. Still has the faster hands. He still dominates the center of the ring. He's still ripping Pavlik in combination and putting him on the defensive. Antonio Tarver was knocked down by Bernard Hopkins. He had to put a glove on the canvas to hold himself up.
Hopkins is pulling out every trick in the book.
I think Bernard is fighting the best fight I've ever saw him fight aside from the Trinidad fight. When you consider his age and you consider this crowd, I never saw him fight this aggressively in a fight.
Hopkins is haunting him and trying to take advantage of Cloud's aggression.
You tend to appreciate this, the mastery of the sport, from A to Z.
In what major sport does someone perform like this on this level at this age?
Big right hand by Hopkins to the chest of Tarver.
Is the Felix Trinidad fight. Yes, it's not there. I was ringside for that. That was a sensational fight. I sat next to Bud Schulberg, who got an Oscar for writing the screenplay for the Harder They Come, the Harder They Fall rather. Let me just tell you something. That film itself was sensational. Schulberg himself had been ringside from Joe Louis on, and he's turned to me at the end of that, and had been ringside from Joe Louis on. And he's turned to me at the end of that, and he had a click in his voice, and he went, that was one of the finest. That was a masterclass. And it was. Bernard Hopkins, Steve, we had a competition last night on the show to work out what would be his name as of tomorrow, what's going to be his nickname and legacy, pension, all that came up. He has just somehow pulled it out of the bag again and again and again and again. What can possibly motivate that man?
Win, to make money. He's a businessman. To win, his competitiveness. You know, you talk of legacy nicknames. It would just be the Daddy. He has been one of the boxing daddies for the last quarter of a century. He's been a pro 28 years, 2 months, 6 days. Is 2 months, 6 days.
Nice one.
And it comes
23 years of world title fights. 34 world title fights.
The middleweight reign was incredible, and the wins. The theatre of the win in Madison Square reign was incredible, and the wins. The theatre of the win in Madison Square Garden, and when the Ray Charles mute America is paid when he walked to the ring, and you were there that night. Silencing the crowd in Madison Square Garden. Tarver to become
Pavlik after Calzaghe.
Pavlik was a wrecking machine, considered a wrecking machine at that time.
I mean, he was angry. He was angry with that.
And even in recent years, when you raise a smile to him, the press-ups in the ring against John Pascal. And you know what? You even go 2 years ago when he fought Kovalev, Steve.
Yeah.
Even
November
then, there was a lot of people backing him to win that. There was a programme part of American journalists at that fight.
Yeah. Hey, 1 or 2 people are picking out on 1 or 2 of the expressions you're making tonight. People aren't happy with W, and someone has asked, I'm just going to read it to you, I'm not going to read it fully because it's X-rated, but Alan Phillips has asked, love the show, and Steve Lewis is brilliant, but any idea who the bleep was who first referred to the backhand for southpaws? Big Al, I'm on your side. I don't know the answer. If anyone knows the answer, it might be Hopkins. However, in this interview, he doesn't talk about that. He talks about just about everything else.
Well, Bernard, you're 51 years of age. You're going to be 52 in January. People looking in are wondering to themselves, is this man crazy going in against a puncher who's 27 years old?
Some. And some are.
I think the mask is coming back with the cross on, because that's when you remember that great middleweight reign, Steve.
Got it. That's when you remember.
So I think,
fearsome. The executioner. He will be the executioner tonight. He's not the alien. He's not the pensioner. He's none of that. He's the executioner. He's live and exclusive on Box Nation in his 67th and last and final fight. So much so, there's a clause in his contract that if he fights again, he can sue himself. Hey, only in boxing. See you in a minute or two.
Cold and flu viruses can live on the surfaces in your home for up to 48 hours, and that's like having a sick family member. But Dettol kills 99.9% of germs, including cold and flu viruses. This cold and flu season, help protect your home and family from germs. And flu season, help protect your home and family from germs. And Dettol that.
This Christmas at Tesco Mobile, we've packaged up a great deal for you. Like this Alcatel Pop 4 for only £7.50 a month. Now with a few added benefits. A free... No wonder 98% of our customers would buy from us again.
So Tim and Tom can get relief, but not always from each other. Gaviscon Double Action.
Understands where he is and what he's got coming up. He's going to be in Delhi. He's going to be challenging Vijender Singh for the title. But I've been told by his agent that Francis Cheka has booked a fight in Dar es Salaam, Tanzania, on Christmas morning. That's how confident Mr. Cheka is.
He likes boxing at Christmas. He boxed Christmas morning last year as well.
That's his regular thing.
Yeah, Christmas morning. He likes boxing at Christmas. He boxed Christmas morning last year as well.
That's his regular thing.
Yeah, Christmas morning. He gets up, goes and has a fight.
But that's an insult to Vijender Singh, Steve.
Well, he must be confident, Tanzania. He was in training for his Christmas Day fight and he decided to have two of them. The Christmas Day fight, that date was in the book a couple of months ago, 3 months ago. Took this, he's still having the Christmas Day fight. But he's been talking a good game. When I was at the press conference the other day in Delhi, or I think it was on Tuesday or Wednesday, even just ago, 3 months ago, took this, he's still having the Christmas Day fight. But he's been talking a good game. When I was at the press conference the other day in Delhi, or I think it was on Tuesday or Wednesday, he started a bit of a shoving match and Vijender gave as good as he got. Vijender said...
Well, he got in Vijender's face?
He got in Vijender's face and Vijender gave him a nice shove back by all accounts.
And I would imagine that's kind of alien, that's odd to Vijender. He needs to spend a bit of time around Jamie Cox or someone. get a few tips on how to upset people and respond.
Have a temper, certainly. I mean, there's a Chinese guy, Zolpikar... Maley, I think he's called.
Off the tongue.
Who's had about 8 fights. They're looking at him. He's got one of these fringe WBO title as well. They're looking at him as a opponent. But there's plenty of British opponents. You know, what about Luke Blackwell? Who acquitted himself so well against Callum Smith last week?
Callum to about the 9th round.
That's been a match that has been spoken of before. Yeah. I mean, I don't think he's ready to go on for the world yet, but he certainly don't need another 9 or 10 of these.
We said, listen, there's a lot of amateur-style traits there. The shoulders are up, he's a bit square, he's a bit stiff. And you act quickly. And when you saw the montage, of course, you know, all montages are deceptive. You know, you can about that left jab. What he's got is a great grounding. He's got a great traditional championships, and in the Olympic championships, when you see them, there's one thing about them, and it's an old expression. 150 top-level amateur contests in a couple of Olympics, probably about 5 Asians, about 4 or 5 World Championships, plus he was on that circuit. So he'd fight in these things that no European boxers compete in. Things like the President's Cup, that his EB team can use it occasionally. It's mad. So that's a terrific place to be a pro, because Joshua spars with all the kids, Frotch sparred with all the kids, Bellew when he's there, Kelbrook, whoever's there, they spar with all the other kids, and they all help each other, don't get me wrong. But you're absolutely right. So what a difference for Vijender, who's never had that opportunity to move around with pros compared to our top GB amateurs, the elite boys and girls.
It was interesting. I watched him spar with Jimmy Kelly when I went to interview him, and that was good sparring. It was good. They did 8 rounds. That was
They go to a break. What's happening out there in India is they're talking to people. They've got dozens and dozens of celebrities at ringside, either cricketers or Bhangra singers or Bollywood actors and actresses, and they are talking to them non-stop. They're having a break at the moment. They have a lengthy break. We'll take a short break. When we come, cricketers or Bhangra singers or Bollywood actors and actresses, and they are talking to them non-stop. They're having a break at the moment. They have a lengthy break. We'll take a short break. When we come back, it's Cheka, it's Singh, it's boxing live from Delhi here with you on Box Nation. See you in 90 seconds.
12 pigs in blankets.
11 sweet potatoes. 10 golden parsnips. 9 smoked salmon.
8 bowls of stuffing.
7 winter salad. 6 second helping.
5 12 pigs in blankets.
11 sweet potatoes. 10 golden parsnips. 9 smoked salmon.
8 bowls of stuffing.
7 winter salad. 6 second helping.
5 Yorkshire puddings.
4 veggie pies.
3 roast hams.
2 turkey crabs. And a jar of Herbert's mayonnaise.
This festive season, give the gift of beautiful feet. From the foot experts at Scholl, the Velvet Smooth Express Pedi with diamond crystals removes tough, hard skin effortlessly for soft, beautiful feet in an instant. New Scholl Velvet Smooth Express Pedi with diamond crystals removes tough, hard skin effortlessly for soft, beautiful feet in an instant. New Scholl Express Pedi gift packs, the perfect collection for a beautiful festive look. Now half price at Boots.
Relieve the nightmare of dry cough and sore throat with
collection for a beautiful festive look. Now half price at Boots.
Relieve the nightmare of dry cough and sore throat with powerful dual relief Lemsip cough syrup.
Special occasions should be celebrated, but for Tim they mean heartburn, and for his twin Tom they mean indigestion. So they use Gaviscon Double Action. It gets to work instantly and lasts up to 2 times longer than antacids. So Tim and Tom can get relief, but not always from each other. Gaviscon Double Action.
Only one remains. The question I ask you, New Delhi, are you ready? It is time for the main event.
Francis Boniface Cheka stays in Morogoro, Tanzania. This 34-year-old is the World Boxing Federation. Vijender Singh.
And now, are you ready for the return of the king? The champion, Vijender!
Here comes beat Kerry Hope of Australia to win this title, and now he comes back to the same ring, but this time to defend the belt on due. The big match tonight in the Night of Champions, the WBO Asia Pacific Championship bout, featuring India's Vijender Singh up against Francis Cheka of Tanzania.
Delhi, India, as befits an occasion of this standing, I would like you to all rise to respect the national anthems of the 2 countries involved in our title contest, beginning with the national anthem of our challenger from Tanzania. And now to introduce the And now, it's time for the talking to stop and New Delhi to rock! 10 rounds of boxing for the WBO Asia Pacific boxing for the WBO Asia Pacific Super Middleweight Champion, brought to you by Nirav Tomar in association with headline sponsor iOS Boxing Promotions, Intex, Queensbury Promotions, and it's live on Star Sports across India and Box Nation across the UK. Introducing the WBO officials present, Mr. Leon Panoncillo Jr., WBO Asia Pacific Chairman, and Mr. Danny Lee, board member at the executive level for the WBO. On our man in the middle, referee Danrex Tapdasan. And now, introducing first the challenger, fighting out of the red corner, he hails from Morogoro, Tanzania, weighing in at 74.7 kgs. He is a former super middleweight champion of the world.
Wear your mouthpiece. Okay. Okay, put on the mouthpiece. Okay. I already gave you instructions in the dressing room. I expect you to have a good, clean
points, and that's what gave him the title.
Yep, he went the full 10 rounds for the first time against Kerry Hope. But let's be brutally honest here, the end game for Vijender is a world title. And to put himself in the mix, and arguably a win here, a convincing win, would catapult him into the top 10 of the WBO, into a high ranking to start looking for that title shot. He needs to convince here. A knockout would be ideal, but otherwise he needs to comprehensively...
...is that he knows how to defend titles as well, not just be in the quest for one. That's a new for Vijender Singh.
It certainly is, and it's an interesting start for Vijender. I think he probably, although he kept calm and collected in the pre-fight build-up that was chaotic to a certain extent with the antics of Cheka, I think he probably trainer playing a tactical game and trying to see what Cheka's approach is going to be like before he commits himself.
That's what we're seeing in the opening round of this bout. Vijender a lot more cautious, choosing to keep Francis Cheka at bay, using the odd left long jab.
And he caught him with an uppercut there, and the jab's going to be a big weapon for Vijender. He's got that reach advantage, he's got that height advantage and weight advantage. So in terms of the tail of the tape, it's Vijender all the way, but it doesn't necessarily... So in terms of the tail of the tape, it's Vijender all the way, but it doesn't necessarily correlate into the fight result.
As far as Vijender is concerned, it's not just that jab, it's also that big right uppercut and hook that he can land. That right hand is a potent weapon. Many opponents have found that out, not just in amateur boxing, but in pro boxing as well. It's just a matter of time before he pulls that out of the arsenal.
With a slightly unorthodox approach, he's got that intense staring action, staring right into the eyes of Vijender Singh, trying to capitalise on any mistake as we approach the end of the first round. And as expected, not too dissimilar from when Vijender won the title against Kerry Hope. Cagey start.
He has got that big right in towards the end of the opening round. So the action has begun in earnest. So both boxers just trying to get a measure of each other, Patrick, in that opening round.
But of course, Indian fight fans watching on Star Sports may be looking at their first professional boxing match. Star Sports may be looking at their first professional boxing match. So far on the show tonight, we've had fights over 4 rounds and 6 rounds. And it's important to note that Vijender, this is only the second fight he's had that's scheduled for 10. He wants to be sure he can conserve energy if it has to go the distance. So no surprise it wasn't an explosive opening to this one.
Took his time, it's a measured approach. Karthik Sharma there along with Rajiv Mehta.
The great and the good of Indian society out in force to cheer on Vijender Singh, the king of the Indian boxing ring. But can Francis Cheka spoil this party? Out in force to cheer on Vijender Singh, the king of the Indian boxing ring. But can Francis Cheka spoil this party? Low punches landed in the first round. Vijender edging it by, he appears to be slightly trimmer. But Cheka is a fine specimen of a man. And we just have to ask the question, is the desire, is the heart in Cheka to try and dethrone Vijender as the WBO Asia Pacific champion?
Just as I was saying, Patrick, he's just waiting for that opening, and then he comes in with that big right.
And ever the shiny Vijender. Hand behind the back, beckoning Cheka to come forward. He's oozing confidence at the minute, Vijender. Moved slightly further back from the ropes. Cheka, all the Cheka shots are in effectively. And there's that cheeky little poke again. Again, he gets in as Cheka's trying to clinch him. Vijender unloading that height. All the Cheka shots are in effectively. And there's that cheeky little poke again. Again, he gets in as Cheka's trying to clinch him. Vijender unloading that height advantage, giving him the ability to do that. And definitely the second round to the king of the Indian ring, Vijender Singh.
Oh, fantastic.
Cheka, I think that's going to be a familiar pattern for Vijender. He seems to be trying to clinch every time Vijender gets remotely near landing a blow. Still trying to come forward with left jabs of his own, but he's cagey. You can see why he's been quite durable and had a lengthy career. And still quick on his feet as well, Francis Cheka.
Third round itself. Would you believe it? Strong right had Cheka in trouble, and Vijender defends his title in style. 8 wins on a trot for the son of the soil. This is a moment to cherish. Just about 5.5 months ago, Vijender Singh was in the ring right here at the Tigerraj Stadium to try and win the title, which another 5.5 months down the line, cut to present. And he's defended the title again. Vijender Singh didn't take long to stamp his class. Well, who's present here at the Tigerraj Stadium in Delhi. And Vijender Singh has maintained his unbeaten record. It's over to Patrick Kingon in the ring.
To the contest, meaning the winner in the blue corner. And still the WBO Asia Pacific Super Middleweight Champion, Asia Pacific Super Middleweight Champion, Vijender
Asia Pacific Super Middleweight Championship belt retained by India's Vijender Singh.
What an atmosphere here in New Delhi. Incredible scenes. Back in July, Vijender won the belt, and now, for the first time, you defended it. Must be a magical feeling.
That's true, and I just preparing for very hard for this fight, and we just spent 2 months in Manchester doing very hard work, lots of training sessions, lots of sparring sessions, and finally I just defend my title. It's still with me. I'm so happy. Thanks to all people who supporting me here, and thanks my coaches, thanks my team, thanks to my Francis, Warren, Queensberry, thank you all.
Did you want to finish it early tonight?
I know that because he's talking so much and he believes in verbal war, but I just believe in punch power, and I did it, right? I just finished in third round. I'm so happy, and lots of people to come here, support me, all because of them. I think I just finished this fight in 3 rounds.
Vijender Singh, you're the king of the ring and the gentleman boxer, but I have to ask you, the behind-the-hand showboating. We're live on Star Sports Live. India wants to know, when can we see this man challenge for a world title? That's what we want.
Very soon. I think very soon, but we'll be going step by step. Right now we're about good 5 to 6 fights. Francis and I, we've been discussing that what to do next, maybe go to the UK.
Several people did on Twitter that Vijender only smiled at the end once his personal yogi had climbed through the ring wearing his distinctive orange robes. Once that guy was in the ring, the bearded maestro smiled over at the boxing guru, and that was it, baby. Good fun, Steve. Let's get it right. Entertainment. What a beautiful way to spend an afternoon. Broke Cheka's heart, forced him to...
He was starting to get through with the right hand. He was enjoying himself, as we saw with the showboating, which you haven't seen before, putting his arms behind his back. He was always in control, and I think Cheka sort of bowed out before he must probably saw himself getting stopped 2 or 3 rounds down the line and bowed out. It was poor to see him quit like that. You've got to say that, Steve. But there was only ever going to be one winner.
And he was really fancying it, Vijender, with lots of showboating. And a few people on the list talked to Francis Warren earlier on, and he said Zach Dunn, he's talking about Rocky Fielding, the winner of Abraham and Krasnicki. Just go through some of the potential names over the next 12 months.
Well, Rocky Fielding, of course, is a name in Britain as particularly fought well, still winning fights. That would be a fantastic fight. One he'd love to. Zach Dunn, he's unbeaten in 23. Steve, he's just beat Liam Cameron, the Sheffield middleweight, for that Commonwealth title in Oz. That was quite a close fight. And of course, the other one they're looking at is the winner of the WBO Eliminator between Arthur Abraham and Robin Krasnicki, that's certainly, you'd think, the most ambitious of the 3 fights they're looking at. But there's so much for him. There's Luke Blackledge, guys, the last time, 15,000. How long before he's headlining at a soccer stadium there? If it was a Commonwealth title fight.
Soccer. You're going to use soccer on my show.
They use that word over there in India. That's why for the football over there, soccer league. We'll say a cricket stadium then.
Yeah. So Vijender Singh.
That word over there in India. That's why for the football over there, soccer league. We'll say a cricket stadium then.
Yeah. So Vijender Singh continues unbeaten, retains his title. Now, on the undercard, OK, there was a fight that actually there were parts of it that Stevie and I were watching through our fingers. It was absolutely hellacious. It was brilliant. It was ridiculous. It took extremes to new extremes. It was unbeaten Scotty the Aussie Edwards against Pardeep Carrera. We're going to pick it up, if I'm not mistaken, at the start of round 3. Let's have a look. This is this Carrera. We're going to pick it up, if I'm not mistaken, at the start of round 3. Let's have a look. This is this fight. It's a 6-round fight. If you were going to do something, put it off for the next 15 or 16 minutes. Let's go. It's ding ding, round 3.
But we've got some celebrities, in fact, quite a few celebrities in attendance.
They're all here tonight, Raman. Standing room only at the Tagaraj.
Absolutely. Just a little while ago, we saw Kiran Rijiju, Minister of State for Home Affairs. And, of course, we also saw Mr. Vidgoya.
Look at this. Sorry to butt in, man, and the celebrities can wait. This is absolute. This is the fight of the night so far, as he hoped it would be. Pardeep Carrera not being intimidated, and Scott Edwards still laying. Oh, that was slightly low as well. They'd let that one go. That was a low blow potentially from Scott Edwards. They're really exchanging. This is turning into a dogfight.
It's a slugfest between these two.
The sweet science is out the window. This is all power and haymakers.
Who lands how many on target?
Well, Pardeep Carrera is taking some shots now, and Scott Edwards, you think Scott Edwards is the first up for the 4th round.
That speaks volumes about his fitness. We talked about him being a fitness trainer in his off time. That's showing.
Look at this. Really relentless stuff from both men. Just to carry on with that, I said to Nero, I've seen the video of Scott Edwards knocking someone out, and I think Scott Edwards wants a timeout here, does he? No, with a knockdown. I said, what are you doing putting Pardeep in with Scott Edwards? And Nero, he said, we really rate this guy highly. We think it's going to be the next big star. The knockdown. I said, what are you doing putting Pardeep in with Scott Edwards? And Nero, he said, we really rate this guy highly. We think it's going to be the next big star. And so far, despite that inauspicious record of 1-1, he's repaying Nirav's faith. Win, lose or draw tonight.
Absolutely. Now remember that first bout that he featured in, that's the bout he lost on points to Manish Sharma.
And you're
points to Manish Sharma.
And you're suggesting that might not have been the most impressive bout of judging that we've ever seen in Indian boxing.
Absolutely, because I remember that bout, he threw so many punches that landed on target.
Oh, Edwards, that's a decent combination, hit him with 3 on the spin. Not sure what power's left, but I've seen him in Indian boxing.
Absolutely, because I remember that bout, he threw so many punches that landed on target.
Oh, Edwards, that's a decent combination, hit him with 3 on the spin. Not sure what power's left behind them, but he's now got him in the corner. He's really going for him now, Scott. Pardeep could be in trouble here. Scott Edwards looking to finish him at the end of the 4th. Pardeep hanging on for dear life, and that might just take it to the end of the round and a chance to take a breather, and it does. But, well, again, how do you score this run, Raman? I wouldn't want to put my neck on the block here.
Scott Edwards
now. And Scott Edwards isn't impressed with that. Scott Edwards, I think, is not too impressed with the officiating. He's entitled, he was dragged down there, so he's entitled to take some time. He's entitled to take some time to get over it. He was dragged down there, so he's entitled to take some time. He's entitled to take some time to get over it.
What it's done is, it's given Pardeep Carrera a breather, because he's struggling.
I think he's going to be warned here by the referee. I'm not sure. No points deduction, but that's his warning. And we get to the nervy end of the round now.
The punches now. Edwards.
He needs a strong finish, Carrera, and he's trying to give the Indians.
It's been a topsy-turvy round so far.
Carrera finishing the stronger.
Yes, the initial part belonged to Edwards, and suddenly he's the man who's struggling now.
Oh, and he nearly connected flush with that right. He just grazed him. It was millimetres away from being a telling shot. He got him with that one and that one.
This is the 5th round, remember. Oh, a couple of punches landed there by Scott Edwards. One more round to go after this. Both these boxers have taken a lot of punishment.
Well, there's no question Pardeep still appears the fresher. Goodness knows how. What a stunning display of endurance. Either man has punched himself out. They come back for more. It's incredible.
5 rounds in to this bout between Scott Edwards of Australia and Pardeep Carrera of India. We're heading into the final round of this bout.
Well, it'll be interesting to see. We're right in front of Scott Edwards here. And the coach, his trainer, seems to be just saying, win this round and you've won the fight. We shall see. Going to be desperately close. Nice to see they touch gloves as well. Comes soon, surely, but Pardeep, if he keeps this up.
Oh, look at that. Returning the favour.
I think this is just tiredness now, and who can blame them after the exhibition they've given us? Pure heart, both of them.
A couple of strong right jabs to the face from Pradeep Carrera. He's taken the blows that Scott Edwards has offered. Both men, the guard's now gone. You can see the hands are sagging, but the spirit isn't. Lost before this. He came up against the much more fancied Australian today. And I tell you what, he's fought with a lot of heart, a lot of gusto, that's for sure. And I tell you what, he's fought with a lot of heart, a lot of gusto, that's for sure. The Australian had the height advantage, but does he have the advantage of the scores of the judges as well? Let's go to Patrick and find out.
Head! Wow, that was
I love that Carrera guy.
Rounder.
And we should get him a Harrow Leisure Centre next week.
It was wild.
Stevie, that was on the undercard.
Head! Wow, that was
I love that Carrera guy.
Rounder.
And we should get him a Harrow Leisure Centre next week.
It was wild.
Stevie, that was on the undercard. It was a great fight. Just quickly, Vijender Singh, he's come through. He's broken Cheka's heart. Absolutely proved the class above him. He's got to move up. You know, he's got to find a bigger name. We've heard the list there from Francis Warren, Zach Dunn, Rocky Field, and the winner of Abraham Kresnicki. Let's hope he gets one of them by the summer, by May.
Oh, hopefully.
List there from Francis Warren, Zach Dunn, Rocky Field, and the winner of Abraham Kresnicki. Let's hope he gets one of them by the summer, by May.
Oh, hopefully, yeah. I mean, a fight, they're the sort of list that could be your 2017 list. Look, it's going to get bigger and better with him out there, particularly there in India. But it's good to see him back in Britain have a fight first.
It will indeed. Thank you very much, Steve, for being with me.
He's the biggest puncher and best fighter in the division, and he's hitting you clean shots in the head. Why did you decide to end the fight that way rather than holding on?
Because I'm crazy. Listen, the fans want to see fights.
Welcome to victories coming by way of KO. Fighting out of Piatagorsk, Russia, presenting the current, reigning, defending WBA interim welterweight champion, Avanessia. And his opponent fighting out of the blue corner.
To watch this fight, call this fight, I think is going to be, can the old man take the young man to school, or the old man time to get out the ring? One or the other, and I just think right now this is exciting.
Avanessia has one loss. That was his second pro fight. He's never been stopped. Shane Mosley stopped one time with a hurt back in Australia. Steve, I would anticipate they both better be ready to go 12.
No, I don't think there's any doubt about it. About Shane Mosley's earlier. He looks like a very well-built 147-pounder.
Go with Sugar Shane Mosley's speed. That's the key.
Body shot with the left hand by Shane. And again, Mosley's been here so many times for Avanessia, and this is his first time, and really the spot by Shane. And again, Mosley's been here so many times for Avanessia, and this is his first time, and really the spotlight of the boxing world. Despite holding that WBA interim championship, the fight kind of took place to an opponent who's no Shane Mosley by Shane. And again, Mosley's been here so many times for Avanessia, and this is his first time, and really the spotlight of the boxing world. Despite placed an opponent who's no Shane Mosley.
The one thing he's going to do education as far as experience, as far as angles, as far as, knowing his distance.
135-pounders. I don't think there's any doubt. Roberto Duran is no worse than the second or third best, and I think a lot of lists certainly have Shane Mosley, who made about 7 or 8 title defenses in the late 90s, and is one of the top 10 lightweights that ever was. Truly, I think soon to be 2 Hall of Famers in that corner.
Big movie coming out about Roberto Duran. Robert De Niro is going to play Ray Arcel in that movie, and Usher is Sugar Ray Leonard.
Yes. I'm looking forward to that.
About Roberto Duran. Robert De Niro is going to play Ray Arcel in that movie, and Usher is Sugar Ray Leonard.
Yes. I'm looking forward to that. Does that premiere August 29th?
It's in August, yes. You've already bought your ticket, huh?
Oh, I'm ready to see it.
Round 2 underway here in Glendale. Great to be with you. Round 2 underway here in Glendale. Just missing with that overhand right. Yeah, let's see if Avanesian comes out with some firepower here, because in the first round he was controlled by the jab of Shane Mosley.
Well, this is utilizing it in range finding.
Again, Avanesian. And Mosley controlling the tempo of this fight. Avanesian with a body shot. Shane spins away. 40 seconds to go in the second. That was an overhand right. The bell to end round 2. Following the interim champion Avanesian to his corner, he moved to England recently to be trained by that man, Carl Graves. And the management team for Avanesian right now very confident their man is on a path to stardom. He had to leave Russia. They felt that he would just be fighting in Russia for the next couple of years and never get an opportunity. They've done a good job putting him.
Avanesian is looking very sharp, and he started gaining his distance. Shane is trying to keep him out of range, and it's a battle of wits. It's a battle of skill. It's a battle of balance and angles. Mosley has the advantage.
Joe told me one thing Duran has helped.
It's a battle of wits. It's a battle of skill. It's a battle of balance and angles. Mosley has the advantage.
Joe told me one thing Duran has helped him with is get back to trying to work the body in a fight. Talked about how he had a lot of knockouts with body shots early in his career, and he's got regenerated with that style with Duran in his corner.
Larry, at 135, I thought Shane Mosley was one of the most vicious body punchers of his generation. A lot of that credit, and he'll even talk about.
Generated with that style with Duran in his corner.
Larry, at 135, I thought Shane Mosley was one of the most vicious body punchers of his generation. A lot of that credit, and he'll even talk about it, was growing up in L.A., sparring with a lot of Mexican and Mexican-American fighters, being really acclimated to that style of boxing. There's a low blow right there from a body shot as we talk about it.
Yeah, and Avanesian is down, and he's going to get the full 5 minutes. Avanesian is down, and he's going to get the full 5 minutes here. Trying to shake it off, but he went down in a heap right when that punch landed.
Talk about body shot. He hit him in the body.
Well,
yeah, that's part of
his body.
Kevin, you've been in there. When you get hit with that big protector, which is like sometimes locked up like Fort Knox.
Talk about body shot. He hit him in the body.
Well,
yeah, that's part of
his body.
Kevin, you've been in there. When you get hit with that big protector, which is like sometimes locked up like Fort Knox, how much does it actually hurt?
It depends on who hits you. As we look right here, we look at the low blow by Mosley.
That's
right
low.
there. Oh, that's a
low.
very low blow. Obvious, you got to take a minute break. It's really not the punch that did it. It's the crushing mechanism of the cup against you.
That just sounds painful.
Yeah, it's something.
Jeez.
There's a body shot to the left rib area by Mosley.
Yeah, those pay off later on.
Whoa, whipping right hand ducked by Avanesian. Don't want to see another low blow. Right hand by Avanesian has been his lone weapon, but he scored several times.
Here you take a look at the overhand right. It's very sneaky the way he throws it. It's camouflaged by his shoulder. So it's a very sneaky weapon. Shane has to.
And you know, that was actually the shift right there, because that left hand out Paul.
A little shake in his feet. Mosley felt that.
Yeah, he's been trying to, Evan Nacian trying to get that punch all night. Come over the jab of Shane Mosley. There he goes again trying to throw it. Shane has to step to his right and avoid it. But Evan Nacian, I give him credit. He's working that overhand right.
I think he's very sneaky. I think he's very clever. I don't know if he's going to be able to overcome the early work in this round of Shane Mosley. But Avanesian certainly now, I think, has shook off any of the nervousness that may have accompanied his entrance into the ring about 10-15.
Right. He's getting more comfortable. So, you know, right now, like I said, he's getting more relaxed in the fight. As the pace of this fight changes, as Shane picks it up or slows it down, or Avanesian picks it up or slows it down, that's going to base how this fight's going to go.
Avanesian goes to the body with a couple right hands.
So Tim and Tom can get relief, but not always from each other. Gaviscon Double Action.
Sore throat keeping you awake?
Yes, and I need a good night's sleep.
Take Strepsils. It relieves pain, fights the infection and soothes your throat. Ooh. It helps put your sore throat pain to sleep.
Lemsip Max Day and Night Cold and Flu has day capsules to help you through your day and night capsules to help you enjoy a restful sleep.
I'm Avanesian.
And Larry, as the fight's going on now, you're seeing Avanesian switch hitting here very freely. He will do this openly as a very, very stated tactic. He's very effective at punching from both the left and the right side with power.
Mosley back to the body again. The body shot by Avanesian. Referee warning the fighters. Possible clash of heads inside. Another close round here at the Gila River Arena in Glendale, Arizona. Side. Another close round here at the Gila River Arena in Glendale, Arizona. Nice right by Shane as the bell ends the round. Close fight here. There is the... Durant wouldn't speak English to me yesterday, but he's doing a pretty good job in that corner right now. Check out a sneaky Shane Mosley. Sixth round underway. Mosley and Avanesian. Close fight here in Glendale, Arizona. Mosley back to that jab, which dominated the first two rounds. Not much behind that jab. Again, like a rangefighter, overhand right that time by Avanesian.
I can tell you, Shane legs look very good. I remember sparring Shane when I first met him. At his age, he looks very, very good. I got to give him credit. He looks very, very good. First met him. At his age, he looks very, very good. I got to give him credit. He looks very, very good.
Of Avanesian, that is no knockdown. Clearly not a knockdown.
First met him. At his age, he looks very, very good. I got to give him credit. He looks very, very good.
Of Avanesian, that is no knockdown. Clearly not a knockdown. And the action will continue. The line for these fighters.
Just take
hard to score a round like this, though.
Very hard.
Both men pounding to the body in the clinch. Shane spins him, trying to work the body.
Hey, he's coming. Jab, if you do. Jab, surprise. Give me jab, the uppercut on the body, please, okay?
And the uppercut to the body. We got that.
Don't worry.
Now back to the southpaw stance for Avanesian and what itself. Shane not taking the advice of Duran yet in this round. Hasn't gone to the body much. In the advice of Duran yet in this round, hasn't gone to the body much. You got to give an Evan a good defense and not really of output either. You got to give an Evan a good defense and not really. Evanesian talking to Shirley. And there is Shirley tonight watching his dad from ringside. Dimar Ortuz next to Trista there, who is Shane's girlfriend and the promoter for GoBox Promotions. That is Team GoBox, and there is the franchise, Shane Mosley. Body work's been important for both fighters in this one. Avanesian here with some good work to the midsection.
Well, here we take a look at that body shot. It was kind of deflected a little bit like a left arm of Sugar Shane Mosley. But, you know, that could be a point.
Haven't seen many jabs from Avanesian in this fight. Round 8, interim welterweight championship on the line here tonight.
Shane landed a straight right hand, caught the attention of Avanesian.
And a body shot by Mosley. Avanesian with some fancy footwork that time. Steps aside and throws the right. A left-right combo by Shane.
It seems they're taking turns on who's going to be the Avanesian. This round seemed to be Shane. So either he's taking off or he's allowing Shane to dictate the action.
Expended a lot of energy in round 7. Steve said he jumped off his stool in the corner, and he did, and he put a lot into
Avanesian. This round seemed to be Shane. So either he's taking off or he's allowing Shane to dictate the action.
Expended a lot of energy in round 7. Steve said he jumped off his stool in the corner, and he did, and he put a lot into that last round. This round, Shane Mosley. Well, nobody knew who Avanesian was before this fight.
I knew before the fight. I watched video of him. What I like about him, he fights righty, he fights lefty. He switches. He's very hard to hit.
Digging a body shot with the right hand. You could feel it at ringside.
There's one thing missed. He needs to come up the middle. Avanesian has put his hands up, and Shane is not coming up the middle.
I also think, Kevin, the one thing that's again expected from a 44-year-old.
The interim champion. Mosley stands toe-to-toe with him. Fires a right of his own. Out as well. Fight is heating up. Fuel so far in this grueling fight. Round 9 underway and very, very close. Let's check with Steve Kim on the scorecard as round 9 is underway.
Guys, I think they've swapped rounds for at least 4 or 5 of them. I have it 76-76. I have each man winning 4 rounds. I think it comes down to the championship rounds.
And I got a score under
Avanesian. Right hand just whizzing, just misses. Both men beginning to be gassed here as round 9 winds. Beginning to be gassed here as round 9 winds. Nice shots. Neither man has really been hurt, though.
No, Larry, I think some of the starch, I think as they say in baseball, they lost an inch or 2 off the fastball. I think now it comes down to who's willing to give people.
Let's go again, yeah?
Here's
Let's
a corner of Evanesian.
Don't let him have a rest, all right? Listen, he's getting knackered, mate. He's tired, all right? Listen to me. More work.
Carl Graves is the trainer.
Take the tape. Yeah, don't let him keep fiddling you about. Let's get on him.
Drink it, let's go for your drinking. Point hard everybody, please. He no like it. He no like it.
Duran wants the jab. All right, we are sitting here very, very close, fairly late on all the line. And this fight, I believe, is still up for grabs. Very close fight with 3 rounds to go. Fairly late on all the line. And this fight, I believe, is still up for grabs. Very close fight with 3 rounds to go. Steve Kim, your scorecard, please.
Heading into rounds 9, 10, 11, and 12, I have an 86-85 Avanesian. I think he edged the last round based on aggression.
Flash, what do you say?
I got it scored dead even.
Aggression.
Flash, what do you say?
I got it scored dead even. I had 1 or 2 rounds I had to go down. Sometimes Shane is the leader, sometimes Javier. I don't know exactly at times who won.
Is the referee tonight, and maybe he just had enough.
Yeah, Shane went from flicking a jab, now to...
This next minute is so pivotal because it's either going to be a 10-8 round for Avanesian or just merely a 9-9. We're literally thinking of a 3-point split here, and with guys, it's been a very, very tight competitive fight.
Exactly right. Nice right by Shane Mosley with a right hand. Avanesian complaining about a head bite. He's waving him on. Another right gets to go on the 9th. Excuse me, the 10th. Another right hand by Mosley. Timing.
I think Shane knows that that point to round. Well, I scored at 9-9, and I got it scored dead even still going into the last 2 rounds. 96-96. I mean,
Steve, what do you think?
I've been 95-94, and I thought that was key because I do believe Shane Mosley won the rest of round number 10.
Here we go, round 11 underway. Speed he's been known for over the years. Mothered by Shane. It's a nice body shot that time by Avanesian. You saw Shane grabbed his ribs as he got hit there.
I definitely seen it affect Sugar Shane Mosley off of him.
You saw Shane grabbed his ribs as he got hit there.
I definitely seen it affect Sugar Shane Mosley off of him. It seems that Shane Mosley is definitely protecting his right side of his body.
Combination by Avanesian. Ebb and flow in this fight. The tide turning both ways. Who knows what the judges have on their scorecards? Nice
like
body shot by Shane.
It's like I said, Sugar Shane Mosley wins the first half of the fight.
Beautiful right hand again by Mosley. He's been in so many big fights. He knows what to do at closing time.
He knows how to steal the rounds, and right now what he's trying to do is trying to steal the rounds.
Mosley's taking the first minute, I'd say. Avanesian, good body shot by Avanesian. Mosley gets him up against the ropes. Avanesian, Mosley responds with the right. 15 seconds to go in this fight.
This turned to a phenomenal fight at the end.
Combination by Avanesian. Mosley spins around. Final seconds of a...
This turned to a phenomenal fight at the end.
Combination by Avanesian. Mosley spins around. Final seconds of a... Good sportsmanship. 2 warriors going to the final bell. And who won this one? Well, we're going to find out in a few minutes. Mosley or Avanesian.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 12 championship rounds of boxing, we go to the judges' scorecards. Judge Route 113. Judges Sergio Caiz and Dennis O'Connell have it 117-110 for your winner by unanimous decision.
Beautiful look. Give the gift of natural-looking shiny nails with Scholl Nail Care gift packs, now half price at Boots.
This Christmas at Tesco Mobile, we've packaged up a great deal for you. Like this Alcatel Pop 4 for only £7.50 a month. Now with a few added benefits. A free Gecko 2 power bank and an extra £3 saving off your monthly bill when you opt in with our smart new Extras app. With all this, no wonder 98% of our customers would buy from...
The most exciting and the most tragic, or one of the most tragic, but you know, just it had everything. It was just, it tore all emotions, you know, throughout the fight. I've never been to a show where even journalists were actually standing on their seats. you know, and getting carried away. God knows how he was getting.
For maybe a year, 2 years, and got offered the spare ticket and jumped at the chance. It's strange, I didn't really, at that age, didn't really get the sense of McClellan and how big a threat he was and how dangerous he'd been in the past. I think my main excitement going into it was that Mike McCallum, who was obviously a legendary fighter, was also on the bill. He was in the chief support. But once you got there and the main event started, it was just an exhilarating, visceral thrill. Not just the fight itself, but the crowd kind of banging against the back wall as one, stamping their feet and just trying to keep Ben in the fight when it got hairy.
Well, we'll talk about all of that in due course, Frank. But between you and Don King, how did that fight come about? Because Ben was obviously the champion. He made 6 defences of that WBC belt, and McClellan was cutting his way through the 160-pound division.
Yeah, well, Don King and I were partners at the time, and we were doing quite a few at the time. Emmanuel Stewart took him to court, and he got an injunction against him against the promotion for giving him his money. And what happened is that the management commission had to be deducted and given to Emmanuel.
And we'll come to that later on. He was a 3-1 on favourite, Colin, in the build-up. What do you remember of those press conferences, and also his time down at the Peacock in the build-up?
Well, as you know, there's always a lot of banter before every big fight, but this one, I remember distinctly, was nasty. I mean, that's not, you know, what happened to Gerald was terrible, but he was not an endearing character, I can assure you. Press, although I made him a 3-round winner, and that was my prediction, I mean, I was so pleased when it turned out the other way, when Ben won the fight.
And that was one of the stories that you'll be able to read about in this Kevin Mitchell book. I'm sure you have already, War Baby, which unearths all of the sort of background stories in that. Very much worth a read. But
he said, that's somebody he met 3 or 4 weeks ago at a dog fight. And he said, what do you mean? He said, well, his dog fought Gerald's dog, and his dog was beating Gerald's dog, and Gerald went and got a gun out of the glove compartment and shot the dog, and then got another one out the trunk of his car. They had another bet and a fight, and that's how they become friendly. Next minute, the guy's in his corner.
I think that might be Mr. Turnipseed. Hyacin Turnipseed, and of course you've got Stan Johnson, you've got no Danny Manny Stewart. You also don't have Jimmy Tibbs, by the way, in Ben's corner. So they've got new trainers, the pair of them. Gerald, now you know, is coming in 3 pounds underweight. He's in the dressing room doing up his own hand wraps as well. It was quite an unusual.
After the first round, but they expected, you know, they expected him to blast Nigel out. I mean, that was the fact of life. And I just thought that and let's get it right. That first round, you know, you look at the first round, you wonder, it could have been over in 1 round. It could have been 1 round. Everybody could have been right about it. And that may be a symptom of what was going on with the dehydration and so forth.
But it's not just the experience, it's compassion as well. You know, someone who's spent a long time with their fighter will care more and will take more of an interest in their well-being rather than just winning the fight. If McClellan hooked up with these 2 jokers...
Classic example, Eddie Futch and Joe Frazier at the end of the 14th round against Ali. That's it. Won't let him come out for the last 3 minutes.
And you know, again, from the fighter's point.
Let him come out for the last 3 minutes.
And you know, again, from the fighter's point of view, he's doing it on the cheap. He's giving somebody $10,000-$20,000 to look after him. What you get, unfortunately, what you pay for, and that was the.
Mind you, as we'll see with the fight unfolds, particularly in the later rounds, McClellan is.
This festive season, give the gift of beautiful feet. From the foot experts at Scholl, the Velvet Smooth Express Pedi with diamond crystals removes tough, hard skin effortlessly for soft, beautiful feet in an instant. New Scholl Express Pedi gift packs, the perfect collection for a beautiful festive look. Now half price at Boots.
This Christmas at Tesco Mobile, we've packaged up a great deal.
6-second helping. 5 Yorkshire puddings. 4 veggie pies. 3 roast hams. 2 turkey crabs. And a jar of Helmut's mayonnaise.
For powerful and effective constipation relief, we've harnessed natural senna and put it into Senacot to help restore your regular movement. Senacot.
Special occasions should be celebrated, but for Tim they mean heartburn, and for his twin Tom they mean indigestion. So they use Gaviscon Double Action.
It clears. Get back onto the one knee. Try and get that head. What he's doing, he's not defending, he's not attacking. He must take another count, get his head cleared.
So he's
technically ducking below the waistline, which is not allowed, but does it matter? I don't blame him. I'd try and jump on this fella's back, but what he's doing now, that's the only way he can is to claim him. The French referee is pushing McClellan off.
This referee has been very kind to Ben in this first round. He's given him a conveniently long count when he was out of the ring. He's trying to keep McClellan off, but this man will not be denied. Ben badly shaken.